We've got a 2-part special on bull moose, hunting moose. This is a special place. I've shot a few moose in the bow zone, and I really wanted to come and shoot a moose in the mountains, and this is it, man.
We're in northern BC. This is definitely not the bow zone.
We were chasing some big moose.
Argo Presents How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV, Go Anywhere. Escape Trailer, built for you. Zeiss, confidence in the toughest conditions. And these fine sponsors.
Welcome to How to Hunt. I'm Ryan Kohler. This is Zach Brown, and we are talking moose. We've got a 2-part special on bull moose, hunting moose with archery, and guiding moose, hunting in the mountains, hunting in parkland. We kind of do it all in the next 2 shows. There's some success, there's some failures, and I hope to teach everybody that watches and listens to the podcast some lessons on how to hunt moose.
Yeah, there's a lot of lessons. And the more I hunt moose and guide moose, so I like to consider myself somewhat a professional, which is scary saying, you realize how much you don't know. Yeah. And how much you realize that you may never know. So that's the challenge with all.
A lifetime of hunting moose, you'd still be learning and learning. I think a lifetime on any animal, really, you'd be learning and learning all the time. So, but the moose are just so much fun.
Yeah.
Right? They're just such a kind of a friendly thing to hunt, and the moose meat's so great. And they're, cow calls and grunts and all the rest of it. And there's something about a moose that is just so hunty,
Yeah, and I think the fact that you have such a huge animal being fooled by a cow call is, I think, that exciting to have a 1,000-pound animal come trashing through the trees.
Sure. When you get that perfect moment when they get all revved up and ready to go. So let's check out some amazing footage, some mountain hunts.
Yep.
Okay, this morning came pretty quick. And now we're in this beautiful area here where there's some huge bull moose. It's all new to me. I haven't hunted here at all, so I have no idea kind of where to go or where to look. And we're just going to walk and talk and see if we can get a moose to respond.
I'm looking right now through the Zeiss, and the glass is amazing. I gave Zack the spotting scope, so he's ripping the spotting scope with his dad right now, so I'm just running the binos, but I can see everything in the bottom. This is a special place. This is really different from hunting in the bow zone. I've shot a few moose in the bow zone, and I really wanted to come and shoot a moose in the mountains, and this is it, man. We took the Argo up. It made it up through some pretty swampy stuff, which was pretty cool. But Argo just seems to go everywhere. I just love the 6x6. 6x6 angles perfectly. You can climb anything, go down anything, get through all the mud. There's some beaver dams down there. We're gonna try and rip through those tomorrow and probably go right through the water. So it's a special machine.
Oh, it's back. How could you miss this? Yeah, that's a big bull, dude. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You should. Just had a bump spot. It's like right in here. Grunting away. So we just had a huge bull come through the trees here, probably to like maybe 80. You could just hear all the trees smashing his horns. There was another bull that circled around us that never even made a sound. There's 2 big bulls in here. And like, they didn't come all the way in. This bull was arcing downwind, so he caught our wind and then just walked away. But another bull was like up all the way around us. That was exciting. Well guys, welcome back. We're in northern BC. My first client this year is Dorsey. Actually a recurve guy, which is a first for me. Set up here for the evening. I got Dorsey right there. Oh, my setup moose is gonna come up through here. I thought I heard a grunt, so I over, and that bull came within about 20 yards of Dorsey. Not a shooter, but worked out awesome. Recurve stuff, it's challenging. We've got close a couple times, and there's this bull that's probably 3/4 of a mile out that we've seen 3 different times. Last night at 200 yards, I got some rough footage. The one thing that's very interesting about this bull, what we're noticing, is there's a cow calling down here within, I would say, 500 yards, and he's not interested at all. He's just feeding. And it just makes you, I don't know, you think you know something about moose hunting, and they're very, very moody. And his mood right now is not to breed.
Mountain moose. So Zach's been guiding mountain moose for a lot of years now, and I've been pretty jealous watching these cool videos they've been putting up on social media. And I decided that I would go try it, right? But as a guide, I would put you as an expert on the mountain when you're hunting moose or getting very, very close. Because again, if you're hunting moose for a month and a half and, you know, a normal person goes for every other weekend, like those numbers add up really, really fast after 5-6 years. So
you're exactly right. And hunting 10 days, I always say, in 10 days of hunting, you have years of experience thrown into that. And it's so fast and hard and heavy. And the lessons are so excruciating.
Sure.
And this year I had the challenge of a recurve hunter, which I've never had before.
Right.
And I really was excited for the challenge. Dorsey from Georgia, such a nice guy. He's killed caribou, he's killed mule deer. He hasn't killed a Canadian moose. That was our goal. And we were chasing some big, big moose. And when you see a big moose, you just immediately are like, okay, nothing else, tunnel vision, put the blinders on, and now I'm focused on this bull moose.
Right.
And props to him. We were putting on 11, 12 kilometers a day, and none of it, you see the terrain is not flat. We're up and down.
Sure.
And
hence mountain moose.
Mountain moose. But yeah, we were unsuccessful, and I think that's the reality of sometimes hunting these big areas.
Sure.
And we came out with a lot of lessons, and the vocalization you hear in the mountains is so interesting. If you're hunting locally in your Edmonton or wherever, you may not hear that, but out there you're hearing grunts, you're hearing cow calls, and all kinds of, I would say almost every single day I'd hear multiple cows calling.
Wow. So, okay. Give me your top 5 mountain tips.
I think number 1 is your equipment. And the first thing that comes to mind, mountain, is glassing. And we have a great partner with Zacks. And I was using those Zacks binos every single day. And some days, some evenings, you don't hunt. You're glassing and you're waiting for the next morning.
Sure.
So good equipment is probably number 1. And that flows into your clothing, your backpack, your rain gear. Because when you're out there, you don't have the luxury of, jumping in your truck, right? You're walking and you're out for the day. you're walking 12 hours. So good equipment, good optics is really important. I think also your expectations too, I think you have to have a good conversation with your client or the people you're hunting, because you need to know what they're after and what they're trying to get. Some people want to shoot their first Canadian moose. Right off the bat, Dorsey, kind of want to shoot a Canadian moose. And then when you see a giant one, you start honing into
the giant.
Yeah, this is what we're going to have. I think also your calling techniques is a little bit different for mountain moose. You're literally calling 3-4 kilometers for some of these moose. So right away, your projections, you're not sitting in your tree stand in little cow calls, which work great for that situation.
Sure.
But big, long calls where all of a sudden, 3-4 kilometers away, looking through the spotting scope, and you just see the pans turn. They're hearing that. And patience. You call, they hear, and then they start walking, and then they're going to eat, and then they're going to stop, and then they're going to look, and then they're going to walk. And it can be an hour and a half, 2 hours, man. It's very interesting sitting somewhere, and I'm very fidgety and want to move, but it's like sitting somewhere an hour and a half, probably minimum, maybe even 2 hours, to waiting for them to come.
So when they come, though, when they're engaged, are they kind of oblivious? Like, I feel like a mountain moose has never seen people kind of thing. Like, or are they pretty sharp?
I mean, I don't know. There is a lot of grizzly bears around, a few wolves around. So I would say they're still leery. That makes it, I always play on the side of they know what you are, or they know what something's up. So you still watch your wind. And with mountain hunts, you come up over a ridge, your wind's doing this way, you drop down, the wind's doing the other thing.
Sure.
So constant wind checker. But I wouldn't say you can't get away with much. I think when it comes to decoying and stuff like that, it's probably really important, especially sticking out in meadows and stuff. But yeah, it keeps you on your toes. I mean, there was no point where I thought it was easier, right?
Right. I think what we did that was really different was we had the horn, like I had the scalpula, and we used the scalpula a lot.
Yeah.
And then just the heavy cow calls with the scalpula. And I think, I talked to an outfitter that sent me in an area, and he was like, wear black.
Yes.
Even, right? So we didn't do that, but I think it might have been smart.
Yeah. And I mean, we tried to be successful. We were not. Fortunately for us, we were able to look to our bread and butter, Heather Wilson, who did kill. Very exciting. We're going to be talking about her, and in our next episode, some more local moose were shot.
I just shot Lindy's bull. I had a smaller bull chasing a cow this morning, and then I could tell there was a bigger bull out in front of me. So I just started doing really soft cow calls, and he came to about 30 yards, but there was a bunch of brush in front of him, and I couldn't get a shot. And then he kind of went back into the trees, and I thought it was done. But I gave a couple more soft calls, and then I gave the sexiest call that I could come up with for a cow call. And all of a sudden he broke branches, and he just started walking and grunting every step. And he came to my right about 24 yards, and I shot, but my shot was just a little bit farther back than I would have liked. It was perfect. I just about put just a a shot. And just because of how my tree stand is and where he was standing, it was a little bit higher, but it definitely went in and back of the shoulder, I think. And he went to 42 yards. And he laid down, and he hasn't moved in about 10 minutes, so I just shot a bull. And he's a nice one.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kohler with Wild TV, and I'm here with the Escape 17, and I'm going to tell you why this is the best trailer for your next great adventure. The reason this trailer is so unbelievable, the reason why Escape is so unbelievable, is because it's a fiberglass egg, basically. It's like two pieces of fiberglass coming together. That makes it really unbeatable. It lasts forever. So I could have this trailer my entire lifetime starting now and then hand it down to my kids and they're gonna have the same trailer. It's gonna be in the same shape. It's an amazing purchase and you can customize it. As you can see, there's a little bit of camo down the side that was done especially for me, which I thank you very much at Escape because it's a great unit. They actually built it for me, so wherever I go, I can make anywhere home. Well, Heather Wilson, she is a hunter on our Bow Zone Whitetail show, and she does a great job shooting a moose. I mean, the story's pretty cool, right? She's in there in the stand. And, you know, we could probably touch on that, I think, really quickly, just because a lot of people hunt the ground for moose, or you're hunting in the mountains, or you're hunting in a parkland area, but hunting the ground for moose or hunting in a stand for moose. Like let's just talk about that for a few minutes, because I think that's key. I'll go back and talk about how amazing Heather is, but that's a big deal.
Yeah. No, I think the stand placement is so key. And especially if you're calling moose, it's sometimes hard to anticipate where they're going to be coming from. Right. Everybody has a general idea, hey, this is where they're at, I'm going to call. But if they don't, I think having your lanes cleared specifically for moose, because it's like, yeah, they're a bigger animal, but they could stop anywhere. And if you're calling, not just sitting and waiting, they're going to be coming in and stopping, and then you better have those lanes cleared.
Yeah, I think for me, it's a small area hunt. Like if I'm hunting a quarter section or 2 quarter sections, something like that, I'm definitely putting up a tree stand and hunting in a stand. If I'm hunting like an unknown area that's massive, I'm 100% on foot, because you just don't know where to put the stand, unless maybe you have a wallow or something where they're going to drink, right? And then you could put it on a lake or something like that, I suppose. But I haven't done a lot of that. When I was younger, I'd shoot all my moose from the ground, always. And then maybe 15 years ago kind of thing, I just started using tree stands to shoot moose. And again, like I'm in a parkland area most of the time. So it's, you got your farm fields and whatever else, you got food sources, and then you got some like patches of bush, 60 acres here, 80 acres, 160 acres, whatever. And so hunting in that, to me, with a stand makes way more sense. It's maybe a little more, not quite as exciting, to be honest, because when you're on the ground, it's very exciting to hunt a bull moose. But, and then you might have to wait, you know? How many days? Like,
I shot a nice bull moose once. I remember I sat for 6 days straight, calling every 15 minutes. And on the last day, he came in and I shot it. And I think too, if you, depending on the small part you're hunting, if it's a local prairie hunt, the moose may not be there yet. And they could be coming in that day or around, right?
And I'll just quickly say this too, is I've drawn a tag for certain moose in Alberta, and in one area it was like all open fields and these little bluffs, but like massive open fields. And like just you could see everywhere, right? And you think there's no moose anywhere. But we learned that on that hunt, like we had 5 days to hunt. Day 1 and day 2, we saw no moose at all. And then on day 3, 4, and 5, it was literally like God just hit a switch and just turned it on, and all these moose were running around everywhere. So it just shows you the distance that they can go to. Like they're not going to stay in that little quarter section of bush. Like they are going to go 10 quarter sections this way, that way, and whatever way they kind of want to go. So it's still a great tactic to sit in one spot, because you're going to have potential to have other moose come by,
and the patience involved, right? Like you said, you're sitting there, and Heather, she made some awesome decisions. And the fact she stayed with it, because sometimes you're like, oh, he's not coming in. But she just kept doing those little cow calls. And moose are so curious and are so slow, which means you have to just sit there and wait. And she did. And I mean, the fact she even got 2 shots off on a moose, I mean, it's always nice to get one.
Well, and she passed a bull.
Which, hey, I think that is, I I don't think I've passed a moose that's walked under me.
Yeah, I think I've passed a few, but I mean, anyone that passes a bull moose is passing up a meal.
Yes.
For a full year, meals and meals. And so yeah, kudos to Heather because she passed a bull because she knew there was a bigger bull, and then she took the time to stay in the stand and keep calling. So she's a great caller, great shooter, great hunter, and cool kill shot for sure.
Yeah, I know, and I think I need to adapt some of those cow calls. Maybe I'll be more successful than what I did this past year in the mountains.
Yeah, there's so much to learn, right? Calling would be the next thing we could talk about, but that would be like a full hour episode, I think, just on calling, cow calling, grunting, when to do it, when not to do it. So we're going to have to wrap up this episode, but in the next episode, we get some more moose, some more parkland moose. I might get lucky. You might get lucky.
Maybe.
So we'll teach you some more tips on how to hunt. Watch episode 2.
Argo Presents How to Hunt is brought to you by Argo XTV. Go anywhere. Escape Trailer, built for you. Zeiss, confidence in the toughest conditions. And these fine sponsors.